A series of recent events has placed Argentina's Supreme Court in an institutional crisis with dispute around the democratization of the nation's judiciary. We go to Buenos Aires, our Buenos Aires bureau, for more from Poblete.
Political leaders and highly prestigious jurists are concerned about the early election of Supreme Court President Ricardo Lorenzetti after a series of questionable events. Last week, the President of the nation's highest tribunal said that due to moral fatigue, he would not seek to assume a new mandate, but whose appointment was ratified only the next day in a statement released by the informative arm of the Supreme Court.
Lorenzetti is whimsically using fate to lie about a kind of Supreme Court which functions with 4 members, though in practice it's only 3. This is an institutional scandal, with one of the 3 state powers in crisis, and given that it's the Supreme Court that interprets the Constitution, this is not a minor issue. I think there should be an investigation that should also be an explanation from its members, and I hope the Impeachment Commission of the lower house of Congress summons Ricardo Lorenzetti for explanations.
97-year-old Carlos Fayt is widely considered to be one of the Supreme Court justices who is most opposed to the democratically elected administration of President Cristina Fernandez, especially after he ruled against the judicial democratization package sponsored in 2013 by President Fernandez and crushed by the highest tribunal later that year. It must be said that the broadcast media law of 2010 also received the same treatment.
Democratization implies popular control. It also implies a much more efficient access to people who need the services of the judiciary. A justice system in which the judge is deemed the same as just another citizen, with judges that do what we all must do, such as pay income tax, and fundamentally, that judges do not think of themselves above any other citizen, but rather seeing themselves as lawyers who dispense justice in individual cases.
The Supreme Court must have 5 members as required by law. However, Lorenzetti has said it can work with 4. Specialists say that having an even amount of 4 judges obligates to have unanimity in all decisions, considering that a new government will hardly dominate the federal Senate with the 2/3 required to appoint a new judge.
A fifth of the decision-making power is reserved for each of its members, not a quarter. The power that each member has and exercises is beyond what it should be. A fifth of the court's composition has been stolen, and it is as if the House of Representatives was missing 1/5 of its members, and the president of either chamber said, no, we are working perfectly well. No, they are not performing well.
The peculiar re-election of the chief judge of Argentina's highest court 9 months in advance doubts about the lucidity of one of its members who is 97 years old, added to the absence of a member of the court, when required by law to be 5, have the Supreme Court in the centre of all discussions. In the lower house of Argentina's Congress, the Impeachment Commission will meet Tuesday to discuss the opening of an investigative process against Supreme Court Judge Carlos Fayt in order to assess his mental and physical capacity. Poblete, teleSUR, Buenos Aires.